So welcome to Yearly. So Yearly is our Australian panel convener for materials and emerging test techniques.
All right, thank you, Angela. Good morning, everyone. So D1 is about material and emerging testing technology. I'll just give you a brief update of the international and Australian activities in the last year or so. So let's look at the scope. There's quite a lot in there, but D1 basically deals with materials and testing techniques, including condition monitoring of apparatus. Materials, we have solid materials, liquid materials, or material systems, and gaseous materials. So we look at the chemistry, dielectrical properties, look at thermal properties, and we also look at the long-term performance, such as aging. So you can see this panel, this study committee deals with the materials and monitoring techniques that can be applied in many other apparatus like transformers, motors, and cables, and you name it. So what's the next one? Okay, so I'll put up the pictures there because we got new leadership this year from Paris. You can see the new commander is Simon Sutton and Secretary Gordon Wilson, both from UK. They are appointed at Paris session. And then we have advisory groups. You can see divided into basically the material and testing techniques. You can see there we have a liquid impregnated. They are like transformer, oil with paper, kraft paper, and pressboard. And then you have solid, you have gases. So keep using. I thought I put up this to show you the range of. Sorry about the small print. You see, we have about. I think 22, or last I counted, representatives on D1 study committees. You can see there's a lot of major economies represented on this study committee. So it's a good mixture of the experience. And also the activities you can see from the working groups who are involved. If you look at the bottom, the yellow is the D1, and green is on the D1 leadership of joint working groups, and the pale green is the joint working group under other study committees. You can see the materials we don't develop ourselves and testing techniques. Quite often we do the work with other study committees. Then you can see there's 4 different groups, liquids, then you have probably the in fashion is the called vegetable oil liquids, and then testing diagnostic is big topic, and then you have solid. So look at the brochure published recently, or look at the last 1 or 2 years. The first one is the PD measurement for factory and site acceptance test of power transformers. That again is a joint working group with Transformer Study Committee. You can see the high frequency PD measurement techniques is the focus. The second brochure listed is the liquids. Basically, I think one of the conclusion there, if you look at the third dot points. There's no. They try to study the breakdown mechanism and the stream of propagation. It seems there's a lot of study done, but there are no physical models that can be found to describe that complex phenomenon. And also, to keep going, I haven't finished there. Yep, okay. And the third one is published about a year ago. Harmonized test for measurement of residue methane in insulating materials. This is the XLPE. When you cross-link, you have methane, which is harmful. Then the fourth one, published around the same time, is a gas mixture. This is mentioned in the other presentation. You can see the C4, F4. So we, in D1, we do the chemistry, dielectric properties, and thermal properties. If you look at the electric conductivity, thermal conductivity, unfortunately, the two go hand in hand. But ideally, you want a low electrical conductivity but high thermal conductivity gases, but it's extremely difficult to find. But then you have different methods. In the last dot point, you have gas chromatography, GC with mass spectroscopy, and FLTR to look at this chemistry and physical properties. The fourth one, the cryogenic temperature. I guess this has some special applications, space and superconducting system, which is still a niche area at the moment. Then the last one I put up there, gas insulated HVDC systems. Again, Jordan working group with B3. At the moment, they just had a survey of different industry test methods, and they pointed out there's still no IEC and international standard published yet. I think that will be still on the way. Parent session, preferential subjects. You can see all about materials, testing, diagnostics. So I won't go through the list. The Australian panel membership can give you an overview of the coverage. You can see from utilities, academia, and service providers, utilities. It's quite good variety. We got a couple of new members joined last year. AU D1 panel activities. We had our panel meeting in University of Queensland in July. We run a hybrid because of summary. Some of our members can't attend in person. So as some of our panel commanders pointed out, it's a very good platform for sharing experience. So we spend a lot of time just talking through the activities and the experience with failures and new development work. But we also have some specific presentations on specific topics listed there. You can see some solar farm inverter and vegetable oil retrofitting. Oh, that's a typo retro. And some testing techniques, and also if you see the second last Dorpon, there's a major research work with a lot of utilities and academia and universities and even overseas partners on developing measurement system for measuring the harmonics or frequency response of VTs and CTs that are installed in the network. The aim is to get an idea how accurate they can be used to measure the harmonics. You know, nowadays people just use a quality meter at the second output of these devices without knowing the frequency response. So this is a major development, and a lot of good results has come out of that. So it's a space worth watching. Then we had a tour of the Australian Transformer Innovation Centre in University of Queensland, where they do a lot of work monitoring and testing and even education training in the transformer space. And of course we have nice dinner in a local restaurant. Other activities I think I want to mention, we have set up a WhatsApp group with the D1 panel, which turned out to be very useful. People use that to ask quick questions. Say, can I borrow a bushing? Does anybody know about this problem? So, and also we have set up a quarterly catch-up meeting, so people can freely, and if they have time to join, normally just run for 1 hour. And the last catch-up, we shared, we shared some research activities and also the Paris session. We also discussed what will be the next meeting. So I'll also show you some of the Australian participation in D1 working groups. You can see the list there. I won't go through them. I think D150 is in the final stage of publishing the brochure, which is very lengthy brochure, which covers, I think, relevant to the testing standard, IEC 60-1, and also the insulation coordination standard. Okay, thank you. That's all from me.